First up today, we're taking another step into the FA Vase. We're taking on Highworth Town in the third round. Then we're going to be going against supposedly the strongest team in the division in RC Warwick. Let's see how we get on. So since the last time you were here, we have had two very nice wins. We beat Tiverdale 2-0. Just a good performance all round. We pretty much dominated them in every single aspect. Let's just have a quick look at the goals. So we started off with a long ball from Kemp. Shiloh Waldo's chasing, puts some pressure on, just somehow gets the ball back, and it just sort of bounces off Moncrief's face and goes in. There didn't look to be a whole lot of directionality put on that, but it worked out perfectly. And then a long ball from Barrett through to Rami, and just a beautiful finish. I didn't think there was a single chance that he was going to be shooting that. I definitely expected him to square it to Moncrief, but I am delighted with the finish. So yeah, that was a very good result there. And in the next game, we beat Wolfrunians 3-0 as well. Haven't conceded in either. This game was kind of notable. Cade Ratchford made his first appearance for us. He's 20 years old, isn't he? The 20-year-old. His first ever appearance in a professional game. I mean, we're a semi-professional club in a semi-professional league, but that's what the news item said. Have a quick look at the goals. Moncrief, Ratchford, Waldo. Waldo threads through. Doesn't thread through. Does a deflected pass. Misremembered that a bit. Rami gets a nice little finish off the post. Then Ratchford starts the move off again, and then Rami puts Moncrief through. Lovely finish. No problem at all from our main man. And then we had S down the wings, put it back to Barrett. Man, it's beautiful pass back into S, and he just slots it in the far corner. Easy does it. 3-0 win. I think we were completely dominant in it. Yeah, there was no real comparison here. We do seem to struggle to keep possession, but I think that's because of the amount of long balls that we go for, to be honest. But overall, that has been a very good few performances. And as a result, we are comfortably top of the league. We've managed to pull away from Highgate United a little bit. We're now 5 points clear because they lost in their last game to Highworth Town, I believe. Yes, 2-1. Not a great performance for them. And Agho has picked up a slight injury, which, might help us in the long run, being as he's definitely their main man up front. Highworth Town have only won 5 games all season, and now they're the only team other than us to beat Highgate United. So that's definitely helped us out quite a bit. Looking at the player stats, Kemal Moncrief is the highest rated player in the league. Now, he's only got 0.01 over Agho, so it's not a convincing lead, but I'm very happy with it. He's still second top scorer behind Jack Odom. Obviously, Kemal Moncrief has been a little more infrequent with his scoring this season, which seems a little mad to say when he scored 22 in 17. Obviously, by this point last season, I feel like he'd got about 40 goals. It was ridiculous. But we have had Mati Lusuqueno step up quite nicely in the 8 games that he has been a part of, scored 9 goals. So, it's not like we're not scoring. We're just sharing it out a bit more than we were before. I mean, that still looks absolutely ridiculous, doesn't it? 31 goals, and we're not even half through the season. And there's another player that might be leaving us. I'm not sure if we went over this in the last episode or not, but Finley Wood, I've accepted offer. Well, I say an offer. I've accepted an offer from Abington United to take him off our hands, basically. Obviously, no money involved, but I don't think he's even played this season. He's played twice this season. And, I mean, he did score in one of those appearances, but basically I've offered him and Adam Cash out just because they're not really playing. And, I mean, it's only going to save us £50 a week, but every little helps, to be honest. So it looks like going into this match, we are clear favourites for the victory. That's a positive, because, I mean, Highworth aren't a bad side at all. They're second in their division, and their record hasn't improved much since we last had a look at it. I think they've only played like 2 games since then still. But from their league position, I definitely thought they'd be a tough opponent for us, especially, if they're second in division, you'd put them on the same sort of level as Highgate United, who have been a very tough opponent across multiple games so far. But we'll have to see how it goes. But one ongoing issue that we do have at the club is Scott Metcalfe is just not happy. Demanded first team football. There's pressure on him trying to force a move. The press are asking me about him. I think he's probably going to get quite a few games between now and the end of the season, to be honest. I'm not looking to get rid of him. Although we have got plenty of other options who can step in of a similar talent at least. I mean, you've got, Metcalfe, obviously Button Forshaw, Kanina can both play left back, and Tommy Barrell is generally our first choice option in that position. But I'm hoping I can definitely keep him, at least for the rest of the season, as a backup option. We'll let him go then, because he'll be getting on a bit anyway. On top of that, We've got Finley Wood leaving the club here. He's going to Abingdon United, as I mentioned. That he's off. You've been a great servant. You had a good season here. Oh, he's not happy at all. I mean, Finley, he played 59. Wait, how did he play 59 times last season? There wasn't 59 games last season. He came on 38 times as a sub in the league. Well, something's definitely gone wrong there. But forget about that. It is game day. We are going to give Metcalf and Kant both a run out in this game. Kant has actually been signed as the cup goalkeeper, so I feel like I should be. Playing him a little bit more. He didn't play in the second round because I wasn't all that confident that would be an easy game. It could have been scarier, but it definitely wasn't as comfortable as I would have liked at the very least. And Metcalf is a completely fine left back. He's not going to be fantastic, but we'll see what he can do. Just because we've got Kant at the back, we've got Kanina and Forshaw playing centre backs just to give the maximum protection we possibly can to our goalkeeper. Barrett on the right, Kemp in defensive midfield, Ratchford and Rami at centre mid. We've got Roll on the left, S on the right, and Moncrief up front. So yeah, I think we're just going to have to go for it. We've got 2 strikers on the bench and Shiloh Waldo, so we've got plenty of cover in case we have some issues. Offensively, at least. Now, think about it. I didn't put many defenders on the bench. We went Nicholson and Barrel. That'll be fine. It's not like we need any centre-backs, is it? Okay, so Highworth are playing a 4-2-3-1, I'd say? 4-2-3-1 or a 4-5-1, I suppose. Maybe an attacking 4-5-1. But either way, we're playing 4-3-3 as always. So let's hope for a good performance here. Starting off with a Highworth corner. That was a very scary start. Ricochets off the post, and I think it was Kemp got it away. Kemp with a long goal kick. Nothing comes of it. Cook managed to dispossess Rami. S with a fantastic tackle. Now Kemp's going up the other side. Back to Kanina. Ratchford. Can he find the pass? Oh, that's a fantastic ball. Moncrief with the shot, absolutely unstoppable. I mean, the keeper did get a hand to it, but he leathered it past him. Just look at this. This is why we signed him. Left foot, big long ball, straight onto the Moncrief's path. And the keeper tried to make himself big, but was not big enough. 10th minute, and it's 1-0. We've got Metcalf. No, not good enough. S is he going to put it back out? No, he's going to try and cross it himself. And nothing comes of it at all. Button Forshaw controls. It's looking for a pass. Kemp. Over to Moncrief. There's no... That might be one of the first headers that I've ever seen Moncrief win, to be honest. The little hobbit up front has done fantastically to get onto that, but doesn't quite get the goal. Kemp with a goal kick. Long ball up towards Moncrief, who wins another one. He's unstoppable. Oh, Rules put Moncrief through. Can he get the shot off here? Oh, what a finish. I thought the defender might have managed to block that. That was just screamed into the far top corner. Starts to play off there. Rule just sees the run, puts it through to him. And the defender here, who is it? Barrett, actually. Did get very close to blocking the shot, but couldn't quite get there. Is it Sam Barrett? Josh Barrett's the superior Barrett on this pitch, mate. So it is half time. We'll head into the dressing room. You're doing brilliantly. Keep going. Everyone just loves me. It's brilliant. We don't even need to look at subs just yet. Everyone is in a very good condition still. I mean, we've got a couple of middling performances, like Metcalf's only at 6.5. But at 2-0 up, I'm not going to complain about anything really. It's been a very uneventful second half. Collins with the ball over. I thought that was just rolling past Kant and not out towards the corner. Barrett now. Managed to hit it all the way up. It's weird that Rami's the one going for that one and S keeps running, but putting through. Nice. That's a ball. It's a nice idea, but very poor execution. As a striker there, Edinburgh. Wasn't even looking. Oh, Moncrief, you've got to. How'd you miss that one? That's been probably the easiest chance you've had so far out of the 3. It's the only one that hasn't gone in. Metcalf with the corner. It's to the back post. Oh, Moncrief can't get on the end of it. He jumped as high as he could, but the other player just volleyed it away. Barrett, don't get beaten to this. Okay. Can he? It's button Forshaw. Kemp. For sure, you're looking for a pass. There we go. Rami, can you come up with anything? Ball over. Moncrief, can you get on the end of that? No. No, you can't. Unlucky. So we're going to give it another 5 or so. And yeah, let's make a few subs. We're looking to be in a very good position here. We've got some complacency going on. I'm still going to give Metcalf the full match. Kemp can come off and we'll bring Regan on. Who else have we got? Actually, no, Metcalf. You know what, man? If you ain't gonna show up and perform, I don't feel like you should be on the pitch. Like, as long as if your attitude was better, you'd have stayed on. And if your attitude was better, you might be in the team a bit more. I'm going to bring Moncrief off, and I'm going to put Devontae Morton on. He doesn't get many games, but he has been very good for us when he has had to play. We're getting anything? Yeah, there we go. Right now, a right free kick. Is anything going to happen? Yes. Oh, it falls in behind Kanina, and they just pop it wide. That was a little bit scary, but nothing comes of it, thankfully. And I think that might be the end of it. There we go, full time. That was just a dominant performance around. Even the stats, like, I mean, yet again, we didn't have all the possession, but less passes completed, actually. But I suppose if you're playing a bit more direct, that's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, I can't complain with anything about that performance. Kant ended up with a 7.5, which, for his first appearance for the club, fantastic. Nice work, everybody. That was a good win for us. So that was far less stress than the previous game in the FA Vase. And now I suppose we just have to see who we come up against next. And it does look like, let me just give Moncrief some praise, we're over the £1,000 per round prize money now. So £1,120 there added to the bank, which it's kind of just keeping us stable at the moment with what we're spending between rounds. But we'll have to see who we get next. So here we go. Isuzu FA Vase, 4th round, 33 teams go into it. And we get Mousehole. What a name for a team. That is amazing. I've never heard of Mousehole AFC. But that is a special one. Oh, and once again, this is for the 3rd round in a row now. We're playing someone at the same tier as us, and they're 2nd in their division. Mousehole AFC, yep, same tier. Who is their best player? Adel Gaffati. Gaffati? Yeah, it's got to be sort of how you pronounce it. He looks pretty good, actually. Like 16 jumping reach. He's 6'4", good heading, good marking, tackling. He's an absolute rock at the back. I would love to get him on the team. He's on a non-contract. This might be an option that I go with, actually. Let's see what we can do. He's only 29. He's, okay. Well, I took that personally, and now you're going down. Looks like we're getting a fantastic youth intake this season. Yeah, it's probably not even worth looking at this. It's funny that when we started getting offers for Sean Myler and we were rejecting them, he started kicking off, despite being completely happy at the club beforehand. Scott Metcalf is kicking off, desperate to leave. Well, he hasn't said he's desperate to leave. He's asked to leave, and there's been lots of talk of him being unhappy. And yet we have 2 offers come in, and I'm not sure where Gould are. Gould are in the same tier as us, but they're not doing great. But Newport Pagnell Town, whoever they are 2nd in their division at the same tier as us. So that's a pretty sideways move. And he's like, well, I'm willing to discuss with them, but I'm happy to stay at the club. It's just weird how inconsistent it can be sometimes. Maybe it's something to do with the fact that he's 35 and might be a bit more mature. I don't know. And that happened incredibly fast. It looks like Adam Cash is going to be leaving to go to Walsham-le-Willows. I've never heard of these. Is that where Wind in the Willows is set, maybe? I don't know. But either way, he's off to them. It's sad. I did like having him around. He's our vice captain and is he at least was one of our more influential players. Although I believe if I look at dynamics now, yeah, he's not even in influential players. He's down in the other players section. So these guys have definitely overtaken him. Rami, Metcalf, Kanina and Moncrief, that is. But that does probably mean that with Cash going, I don't really want Metcalf going as well, because that would be Cash was our captain. I thought Cash was the vice captain and Metcalf was the captain. But either way, I don't really want both of them leaving and having to change both at what is a relatively pivotal point of the season. And just so you know, Tommy Barrell has now been made our captain. I mean, he's only 20, but he's got 12 leadership, so he's one of our better options. Scott Metcalf remains as the vice captain. He's also on 12 leadership. He doesn't play that often. And funnily enough, it's both our left back is our captain no matter what, it seems like. either way, since that last game, we have played once more against Romulus. I'll quickly show you the goals from this. Nice little 2-1 win. It was a little bit scary. They went ahead, but we did fight back and were by far the better team across the board. I mean, looking at the XG, even when they scored, it barely even registered. It was somewhat of a half, well, I'd say a half chance, not according to the XG, not even that. Bell was running down the wing. Their striker makes a run in field. Mena just gets it and just slots it in the far side past Tommy Jackson. Then Regan, with a weird angle for a free kick, pops it over to Moncrief and volleys it in. Can't really see a whole lot from here. I think they thought Regan was going to shoot from the halfway line or something. Then Binns off to Rule, puts it through to Moncrief and just smashes it in the far corner. Beautiful victory. Shiloh Waldo did get a goal ruled out later on for offside. But yeah, very good performance. And that means going into this match against RC Warwick, we are back to being 5 points clear. I mean, Highgate United seem to consistently have played one more game than us. Every time I look at this, it's nice that we're back on level pegging with everyone. Also, RC Warwick, how have they been getting on recently? They have shot up the league a bit. Yeah, I mean, like, I remember us looking at the season preview and seeing that they'd suddenly become one of the favourites to win the league. And it was probably around this time that was, because we were only a few games into the season at that point. And since then, I mean, they lost to Highgate United, who are currently second. They lost to Shifnal Town, who have since gone up into one of the favourites to win the league. And apart from that, they only lost in the FA Cup second round against the FA. And apart from that, they only lost in the second qualifying round of the FA Cup to Oxford City, and have been unbeaten ever since, with 3-3-1 victories in a row going into this match. That's a odd little stat there. They've got some very varied goal scorers as well. So this could be an interesting one. They've managed to jump from, I think when we spotted them before, they were in about 13th, 14th, and they signed a few players and have just consistently been working their way up the table. They're now only 3 points behind Shifnal Town in second. And looking at the season preview, despite being comfortably top, we are the 4th best team in the league now, supposedly. Shifnal Town and RC Warwick are both ahead of us. And actually, yeah, Walsall Wood are ahead of us now. I was thinking Highgate were ahead of us, but no, they've switched over. That's unexpected. And our 2 most recent signings have made it into the Star 11 for the division. So that's nice. I hadn't noticed that. And it looks like it is game day. For the first time, Tommy Barrett taking the captain's armband. Basically got a very similar lineup to last time. I think the only difference is we've now got Regan at defensive midfield, Barrel at left back instead of Metcalf, and obviously we've got Jackson in goal. Other than that, it's definitely just our first team. We'll have to see how we get on. But we've got a few heavy match loads on the team. So I think after this one, who have we got next? Let me just back out. I don't like doing this normally. Schedule. Up next, we've got Market Drayton in 16th, Lytown in 6th, and Utoxeter Town in 20th. Hereford 17th, Stourport's 15th and 11th. So we've got Lytown. That could be quite a tough game, but we should have a relatively easy run of results other than that before the Mousehole game. So it does give me a bit of hope to be able to rest the players. We're going to basically fully rotate every position over the next few games. So this is the sort of all or nothing one before we get into that. And actually one change that I'm going to make before we get into that, even though I've just mentioned that, I think Josh Barrett is actually going to play instead of Nicholson. Josh Barrett has been incredibly good for us, but Nicholson's on a light match workload. Funny enough, I was about to take Nicholson off and put someone else on because we have got more than enough cover at the fullbacks with Josh Howe and Nicholson. But instead, I'm going to give Nicholson the game. Barrett can come off, and we're going to stick centre midfielder in there. I think we're going to stick Reece Oliver in there just for a bit more centre mid cover, because that's one place that we were lacking a bit. We only had Oliver Kemp, who could potentially play that position, and I don't really see him as a centre midfielder. I'm just going to neaten these up a bit more. It always helps me with my own judgment of how we're looking to line up. So yeah, let's just get into it. So we are in our standard 4-3-3. I always prefer when they're shown first for away games, because then we get to skip our lineup. RC Warwick are also in a 4-3-3. Got that Jessup up front, Pinnington on the left. Those are the 2 names that I see score quite a bit for them. So let's hope we can manage to stop them. Actually, Nicholson is going to be up against Pinnington, so we'll have to hope he can perform today. 98 people down at Pack Meadow for this, and they have not been given a particularly enjoyable start to the game, it must be said. 25 minutes, no highlights at all. 33 minutes, no highlights at all. I'm gonna give a demand more. We'll see what we can get. Everyone seems delighted. Come on, let this be a sign. Guys? Guys? Okay, not a single highlight in the first half. What an absolute disaster of a live com this is. We had about 4 highlights in the entire first game that we did. And then now, oh God. Oh, I didn't even... Our passing hasn't been good enough so far. I'll be honest, I just clicked out without reading because I was still thinking about how bad this has been. I don't know if our passing's been good enough because I haven't seen a single fucking highlight. Guy Nicholson seems anxious. I'm sure he'll get over it. It does worry me though, because you don't want this to be a single highlight game and they manage to get the only highlight and win. We're an hour into the game without a single highlight here. This is ridiculous. Right, we're going to mix things up. You know what, I'm going to quick demand more. See how people react. Oh, we've got a highlight. Tommy Barrel. Puts it in. Moncrief at the back post. Can't do anything. Oh, Rule. Blast it. Oh, I thought he'd scored an absolute screamer there. Just over the bar. Oh, God. Highlight's coming thick and fast now. Legend Akpo, I think that was. Oh, Pennington's on the ball. Go on. Shut him down. Go, 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 go. Oh, he's just done you. He just curled it. Oh, my God. I thought that was going in. That would have been a beautiful goal, to be honest. But not what I wanted to see. Right. What can we do here? I am going to take Nicholson back off. Josh Howe can play right back. More than good enough. And with Nicholson seeming apprehensive, I don't want his mental state getting in the way of his performance, quite frankly. Odin Bottom struggling a bit, but he's having a good game and he seems fired up, so we're going to leave him on for now. I'm going to take Rule off and put Waldo on. I don't know if it's exactly required, but we need to mix things up a bit. We're not getting any open play highlights, it seems, at all. We're still not getting anything. You know what? I'm just going to go... Just pump it much more direct. Surely something's got to give here. Surely that cannot be the entire game. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Like, we had a corner that got cleared for a slightly overshot and they curled one just wide. That is going to be a very uneventful match of the day highlights. Even the Sky Sports highlights packages on YouTube could cover all of the action of this game easily in the 2 minutes that long they normally are. Like, on one hand, that's a very, very disappointing game to have as our finale for the episode. I really was thinking that was going to be a very tough one. But on the plus side, they are literally a better side than us, and we are still on 5 points ahead. Oh, Highgate United and Walsall Wood drew. I didn't realise Walsall Wood are another team that are supposedly better than us, despite being all the way down in 9th. But yeah, I mean, that's actually as good as that could possibly have gone for us, really. I mean, Highworth Town are catching up on us a little bit, 4-1 win over Bewdley. But we're still 5 ahead of Highgate, and they're 6 ahead of Shifnal. And Wolves Casuals 3 behind that. So yeah, an incredibly disappointing end to today's episode. From an entertainment perspective, it's a completely fine outcome from the perspective of, wanting to do well in the league. So that's look at the winning run before that. We'd won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've completely lost track of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'd won 10 on the bounce. And then we come up against RC Warwick and we get a 2 highlight game where we have 1 shot. Not fantastic, but when you're playing against the other good teams in the league, Man City aren't going to be devastated that they draw against Liverpool, let's say. Although thinking about how this season's going for the 2 clubs, they actually probably would be. But yeah, thank you very much for watching today. I think for the next episode, we're going to go forward quite a bit. Well, we're going to go through these 5 games, which should be relatively straightforward. I don't want to guarantee anything. And then we'll do the Mousehole game, and depending on how that goes, we might also do the Highgate United game. But it might also be good to just do the Mousehole game next time and do Highgate and Shifnal that game after. I don't know. We'll see how the Mousehole game goes, because I think the next round of that will be somewhere around here as well. So it might be a Mousehole, Highgate, and Shifnal and 5th round opponent if we have one. We'll have to see how that goes first, and we'll just make a decision based off that. We have also got a Wolves Casuals game coming up soon. Well, relatively soon. I mean, relatively soon in an episode point of view. It's still like 3 months away from an in-game point of view. But as they are the only team that have beaten us in the league so far this season, I would definitely like to try and get some revenge at least. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed, maybe leave a like or a comment down below. Let me know, do you think we're going to be able to win the league this season? Obviously, we're in a good position so far, but we have got some very tough opponents coming up. And some squad unrest as well, which isn't going to help. But yeah, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.